Welcome back to SenseTalking. India, this explainer touches on you.
Okay, let's just dive right into the chaos surrounding Lionel Messi's 2025 Tour of India. Because this one quote from a fan in Kolkata, well, it pretty much says it all, doesn't it? It just perfectly captures the frustration that completely took over what was supposed to be a massive celebration. So how on earth did it all go so wrong? To really get it, we need to break down what happened, why it happened, and honestly, the really uncomfortable questions it forces all of us to ask ourselves.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute chaos in Kolkata, and then we're going to peel back the layers. We'll look at the VIP culture, the money involved, and what this whole fiasco really tells us about our priorities as a nation.
All right, let's set the scene. December 13th, 2025, Salt Lake Stadium. An event that was scheduled for 2 whole hours with Messi ended up lasting just 22 minutes, and it ended in complete and total outrage.
You have to understand, the excitement was off the charts. People paid huge amounts of money. They made incredible sacrifices. I mean, one guy literally left his own wedding to be there, only to have it all fall apart. The frustration just boiled over, and the stadium, well, it was left in shambles.
Now, to get why people were so furious, you have to get this city. In Kolkata, football is not just a game, it's practically a religion. It's a part of your family history, something passed down from one generation to the next.
And you know, this city has a really special history with Messi. This is where his journey as Argentina's official captain actually began, way back in 2011. So for him to come back in 2025 now as a World Cup winner, it wasn't just another game. For the fans, it was like the closing of a circle, a real connection to his story.
So, what went so horribly wrong? Well, it boils down to this. For 17 of the 22 minutes that Messi was actually on the field, politicians, ministers, and all their relatives just swarmed him for selfies, completely blocking the view for the fans who paid to be there.
You can't make this stuff up. The chief organizer was literally pleading with people to step back, but nope. Even the police officers on duty were moving in for photos. This thing stopped being a sports event and basically turned into a political photo op that was funded by the fans.
And don't for a second think this was just a Kolkata problem. Oh no, this was a pattern. The mismanagement, the out-of-control VIP culture, it was on full display in every single city he visited, from Hyderabad to Delhi to Mumbai.
But, you know, in the middle of all that chaos, there was one moment, maybe the most telling and honestly the most painful moment of the whole tour, and it involved India's own football legend, Sunil Chhetri.
And let's be crystal clear about who we're talking about here. Sunil Chhetri is a giant of the game. On the world stage, his goal-scoring record puts him right up there with Messi and Ronaldo. He is, without a doubt, an Indian footballing god.
And yet, what happened? Instead of welcoming Messi as an equal, as a representative of Indian football, he was treated like just another face in the crowd. He should have been the one greeting Messi, legend to legend.
And here's where it gets really uncomfortable. Just a few years ago, this is the same man who had to post a video literally begging fans to show up for India's matches because the stadiums were empty. Now here we are in an event for a foreign star, and our own hero is treated like a fanboy. It just shines a massive spotlight on how we overlook our own in favor of international fame. This whole strange set of priorities, it starts to make a lot more sense in a very weird way when you start to follow the money. Because let's be real, this wasn't a charity tour. This was a high-end commercial roadshow built to cash in on the Messi brand. I mean, just look at the numbers. They're staggering. Messi's appearance fee alone could have bankrolled multiple domestic football clubs for an entire season. And that's just the start. When you add up everything else, the fees, the private jets, the VIP meet and greets, the total price tag for this 3-day tour was just astronomical. We're talking well over 200 crore.
Okay, so here's the real kicker. The money spent on one guy for 3 days was more than 5 times the amount our entire National Football Federation asked for to run its league for a whole year. And oh, by the way, that funding request, it was denied.
And that really brings us to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? This isn't about being against Messi or the fans who absolutely adore him. It's about what we, as a country, choose to prioritize.
I mean, the contrast is it's night and day. A foreign superstar shows up and suddenly, everything works. Money, logistics, security, It all magically appears out of thin air. But when our own players and our own leagues ask for even basic support, well, suddenly the budgets are empty and all the plans disappear.
So, the takeaway here is unavoidable, really. We celebrated Messi like we had just discovered football yesterday, while the actual system that could create the next Sunil Chhetri is just left to starve for funds.
I'm not going to answer that one for you. That's the real question this whole episode leaves us with, and it's something to think about long after this explainer is over.